Welcome, welcome. We're back again. We had a little time off. We needed some break. Plus, I think we had a cancellation, which no big deal, but we just sometimes it's hard to find people last minute. But we're back. It's 30 with Karen and Justin, and we're all here. The gang's all here, which is great. We have an incredible guest today. We have Brandon Mills. He's a designer and a builder who spent the last few years over COVID and other things, I guess, by the sounds of it, working on tiny homes and learning the ins and outs of small space living, which seems to be the newest, biggest trend in housing right now. And especially with people doing ARUs and things like that. Let's talk about tiny homes. This is really cool, actually. I think Karen,
it's very cool.
You're gonna get excited about this one. So, tell me a little bit about the start of this, because I noticed you did some work in 2022 where you built your own tiny home, and that sort of spiraled from there. So let's talk about that.
Yep. Yeah, I started in 2021, 2022 with a project just before COVID-19, actually. Yeah. That was my first tiny home. And for me, it was just like I wanted my background was like renovations and construction and a bit of work on like Airbnbs. And I wanted my own Airbnb. So for me, it was like, how do I build an Airbnb that I can put on like my parents' farm and not have to get a permit? So that was basically the solution.
That's a clever
and
way
so
to do
how
it.
Did you, so continue.
Yeah. Did it work?
So yeah, it worked. It's still on the farm and it's still on Airbnb. And it's not perfect because it was my first one, but
of course, none of it's like the first pancake. It never comes out quite
no.
right. And then after that, you figure out all the things. That's funny. I love that. So talk to me about, like, you called it Hone, right? If I'm not mistaken. What was that for? What is HONE versus
HONE? Yeah, my brother always makes fun of it because it's not an
acronym. It doesn't mean anything. Just you called it that. That's funny. So this led to a partnership with another organization that would help you build these things en masse, kind of.
Yes, I'm working with Tiny Box right now.
Tiny Box, where is that located?
Yeah, they're based out of the Toronto area.
Yeah.
Talk to me about one of the misconceptions that people have about tiny homes.
Yeah, there's a lot of challenges with tiny homes that people don't understand. And it's kind of like, what is a tiny home? Like, what am I going to use it for? Like, as you said, like ADUs are a big topic now. And so there's, ADUs, there's tiny homes on wheels, there's bunkies, and like, what are all these things? Like, what are we talking about, right?
And so how does that fit it? Like, how are you able to, I guess my question, you work with the owners that are trying to put these things on their property to work with the municipalities, and where, like, how does that work? Because there's got to be different rules across the areas. Like, your parents' farm is one thing, I'm sure, but in the city of Burlington or in the city of Oakville or Hamilton or something, what are the differences in some of these challenges that you run into?
Yeah. So like with Tiny Box, we're focusing on like bunkies.
Okay.
So for us, that's like, kind of like a shed in some sense, like in the technical sense.
Fair. My son.
So wait a minute, and hold on a second. So I want to just go back a little. Tiny home, bunkie. What's the difference?
So a bunkie is like another term maybe for like a cabin where you're basically have an empty space, use it for whatever you like. But it usually doesn't have like a washroom, kitchen. It's just space. Maybe you have an office in there, or maybe it's just like just a sleeping space. And the washroom is like separate. Like you have like a camping site or something.
So you might have an outhouse of some kind.
Yeah,
so the tiny home has everything, and I've read articles and
yeah.
looked at, and they're all always on TikTok,
They're
build your
always
tiny
it's,
and so a tiny home is like a little 800 or even 700 square foot
yeah.
home. And how big are yours?
So yeah, like the image behind me is a tiny home.
Oh, did
So
I freeze?
No, you're good. We heard you.
no,
Keep
you're
going.
good.
Okay.
So yeah, I called it, but going back to the hone thing, I called it hone because it's like an honest experience. So I just like took honest and cut it off.
Oh,
And then it's
that's all right.
like a honed experience.
Hmm.
Mm. Yeah.
Um,
And so
so
the
I
size
took
of the
like a
one
lot
behind you.
of
Talk about that.
so I took a lot of work to get to everything honed perfectly for the tiny house that's behind me. And it like this one has, you know, kitchen, washroom, living space, all packed into 200 square feet, right?
Mm.
200 square feet?
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
small. That's amazing. That's amazing. And now that's over 2 stories, it looks like, because you got the stairs. I'm assuming the bed is above and then the living space is below.
Yeah,
Right.
this one has a loft. Yeah.
A
Yeah.
loft. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Justin was asking you about the stipulations, the regulations that we have to follow through with in regard to Niagara Escarpment Commission
Yeah.
or, the Halton region or any kind of area that is going to give you restrictions. So talk to us. Let's say hypothetically, your parents' place was zoned as any restrictions on that you had to follow through with?
Fortunately, in Bradford, where our farm is, there's very few restrictions
Mm.
as far as tiny homes are concerned. As long you can basically go up to like 4 tiny homes. Just kind of the max before you're like a campground, basically.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
And for us in Bradford, it's nice because we don't have short-term rental or Airbnb licensing, so I don't have to get a license for that.
Mhm.
Um, so it really depends which location you're going. If you can kind of get that nice combination where you can do rentals and you can have no restrictions on the tiny house itself,
Mhm.
then that really helps. Of course, like if you're wanting to live full time in it, it's a bit of a different deal. Like if you want to live full time, that can be a much harder challenge. And there's only certain townships that will allow that. So generally, we don't focus on like people living in it full time for what I do, because
Mhm.
it's you gotta be really prepared for a long drawn out process to get everything
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
So have you run into that, Brandon, in regard to any area that you've had to start putting in applications, et cetera?
Yeah, we've definitely had some on kind of more the western part of Ontario that
Yes, sir.
you've
Oh, okay. Past Oshawa sort of thing?
west side,
Oh, West
yeah,
Side. Sorry, West Side. Oh my
west
gosh.
side, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so in other words, yeah, because I know that Burlington and all the surrounding area are covered by Niagara Escarpment and the conservation and
Yeah,
but I do know that they're opening up they're opening up their ideas and concepts
yeah.
in regard to that. So have you felt the more of an acceptance of putting in that tiny home?
Yeah, we are finding definitely it's more people are learning about it and they're adding more rules to allow this kind of thing. Like Bruce Peninsula is working in that direction quite well. Um, but yeah, it of course there if you have too many things you have to do, like as you said with the Niagara Escarpment, like you have to basically make sure you meet all the rules of your township, and then you also have to meet the rules of Niagara Escarpment Commission. So for some people, that can just become like too tedious of a process. to go through all the steps.
Mm.
Yeah, but it's so beneficial in the end result
Yeah.
if you do go through the process,
Mm.
right? Now, so how is your business? Is it really growing? Talk to us about the growth in tiny homes as far as business wise.
Yeah, right now we're focusing on like resorts and RV parks basically. So
Oh,
like this unit here behind me, this picture is at an RV park up in Coldwater area in Severn Township.
hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Talk to
so
me
that's
about
what
some of the design. Sorry, talk to me about some of the design features in your tiny homes that make yours a little different than others.
Yeah, design features. So I try to include,
you.
I tailor it mainly for Airbnb and short-term rentals.
Mhm.
So there's not as much storage, but
Right.
try to include luxuries that kind of fit with um, the outdoors and the experience that you'd want to be in.
Mhm. Mhm.
So like two of the features people really like are that the washroom is like this I basically do it all in cedar, so it's kind of like a steam sauna almost, where everything kind of warms up and it's a really interesting experience.
Mhm.
And then the up top with the loft has a like a 4 foot skylight so that you can basically see up into the stars when you go to bed.
Well, that's really cool. I like that a lot. That's now, given that your focus is resorts and things, it's interesting that you say that because, as Karen said, I've seen a lot of stuff on TikTok, and a lot of these guys are dropping these Airbnbs on their property next to a river or somewhere or whatever, in a
Yeah.
in a little area on their property, and you can go in privately and go live in these places for a few days, and
Yeah.
Jesus. And so yeah, so it's it's one of those things where it's becoming such a big phenomenal thing, but it's so small, which is so interesting. That's the fun part about it, is there's a lot to be done with these. Have you started to see more municipalities like actually like I've heard Hamilton is actually working to try to allow these
Yeah.
multiple tiny homes on individual properties? Is that something you're starting to see a little bit more of now, or is it really just, let's focus on the the resort style stuff?
Yeah, right now it's really kind of complex because you have more municipalities approving this kind of thing.
Right.
But you also have, in my experience, kind of people's budgets getting tighter.
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah.
So that's a
So
good question. So what's the average cost of these things as you go through this comment?
so for like a unit like behind me, we're starting at basically 79,000.
and
And
9,000,
that's
it's 9,000 you said?
79,000.
79,000. Oh,
And from a municipality standpoint, people are able to drop these, like one or two of these on their property in some areas and turn it into a multi-dwelling.
sorry, I'm
Is it?
losing you
Oh,
there.
oh, are you there? Have we cut out a little? Oh, we lost him. Bradford internet isn't
I'm
great.
here.
yeah,
Brad,
we're here. Can you
we're
hear
here.
us?
We got you back. So,
No, he's frozen.
he's frozen again. Oh, he's disappeared
Oh,
altogether.
oh,
Oh, and
he's gone.
this is
I'm
Bradford
back.
internet. It's all good. We're back. We're all
All
good.
right, I'm back.
Yeah, no. So,
Okay.
like, we're finding, so at 79,000, in 80,000 on average, let's say, or on the low end or middle end, or I don't
Yeah.
know. Like, let's say
Well,
this is an opportunity for people to put multiple units on a property and have these kind of multi-unit even in the city, if the city allows it. Am I hearing, is that what I'm hearing from you?
you could, as
Mhm.
long as you're willing to do the legwork. The city
Is there
can
ability to
definitely
stack these things, or are they all individually sort of side by side?
side by side, yeah,
Right.
side by side,
Good
side
idea
by
though,
side.
Justin, stacking them.
Well, I heard
I
recently that
heard
they're actually using C cans for these things now, which are very stackable. So,
Yes.
it's an interesting side way to do it because they just plonk on top of each other with no real structural need for any other thing, right? So
I wish things were as simple as the practicality. That would be great.
it's probably not that simple. You're right. Because people living in sea cans. Mm.
well,
Exactly.
no,
And yet,
the in Argentina they live in Secans, because they live on the beach, and so this has been going on for years and years and years, you know.
yeah.
So, but in the city, of
Hopefully,
course, go ahead.
yeah, with like the company Timebox I'm working with, we're hoping to get to that level where we can stack these and build like bigger structures. But it's kind of like it's more of a process. Like you got to
Sure.
get there at some point with
When you build these,
regulations,
are
engineering,
they
all that.
built in like a factory with piece by piece, and they're sort of
Modular,
brought in
modular.
modular in
Yeah.
one whole piece to the property?
Well, I like with Tinybox, they're actually doing we're doing them as basically like flat packs. So you actually install it yourself as
Mhm.
like basically like a kit that you
Oh,
can
Oh,
assemble
okay.
with
Yeah,
like
yeah,
two
yeah.
people.
Yeah. So I order a tiny home from you and you ship it to me, and then I have to put it up.
you get the Amazon driver show up, and he drops off your tiny home box.
You can do that. Right now, we're only doing that for the bunkies, like the small ones.
That's funny.
Well, I
If
know.
it's the bigger
So
one, we'll put it together.
Got it. Got it.
so,
That's
so
gives me a
there's
little.
a
I am useless with that stuff. So
well, there's a bunkie producer in Erin, Ontario, and
Yeah,
he that's what he does. He cuts everything to the T as far as each piece, and then he ships it to you, and then you
you
put
got
it
to build
up.
it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
Cool. So you have that
but
option as well.
yeah. We have that option.
now, do
Uh,
you have do you have a factory or a place where you produce all these?
right now, right now we have we're working with basically a bunch of different factories, and then we bring it all to our warehouse and then ship it out of the warehouse. So it's more of a team project that's more remote.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, if as you look back to the journey you've been on up to this point, which seems to be a nice little growth pattern for you, which is really cool, especially in an economy that's really odd right now. Is there anything
Yeah.
you'd look back and do a little differently from the start?
Yeah. I'd say the number one thing.
I like the pause. Oh, yeah, I guess. Sure. Everyone says yes.
The hard part is finding the right manufacturers,
Right.
the right people to work with. Yeah, that's the hard part, especially
Right.
with tiny homes because everything is smaller.
Mm.
Um, so a lot of contractors want to charge you, house price, even though it's tiny house.
Right. And so you have to get appliances that are smaller, I'm assuming, I guess. All the things got
Yep,
to be smaller.
everything's got to
Um,
be smaller.
yeah, and
It's like a
so
European apartment.
right, you're right, 100%. That's exactly right. The laundry's underneath the kitchen counter kind of thing. That sort of thing. Yeah, no, talk to me about the luxury nature of the tiny home. Is within your framework of the home system, like are you able to go super basic and then also go super like bougie? Like where do we lie here, or what kind of options do we offer on your side of things?
Yeah, like you can go basic, mini fridge, basic sink and stuff like that. Um, I try to stick to like a bit more luxury level where we have like the wall oven back there, like a nice spot for cooking, like double sinks, and I try to keep everything basically like, as energy efficient as possible, so that you can really put this like in creative locations. Um, so I try to
And
like
go ahead. No, finish that statement, and then I got one other question
yeah
for you.
try to minimize the required like energy use. So like all the appliances are on propane.
Right.
So you can basically just put this thing like in the woods somewhere,
That was going
and
to be
put
my
some
next question.
panels, put some
Yeah.
solar
Well,
panels, and go ahead.
yeah, so you want to when you have a tiny home, you want to be um, off the grid, sort of, and so forget the propane and do the solar or whatever, and obviously that's come into your equation of when you build it or put it together, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, absolutely.
Have
We're
you
trying to be able to do it and do these units in any location.
yeah.
Nice.
So even if you
Has
just want to,
solar come up? Like, have you spoken about solar and trying to figure that out as well?
the solar comes up quite a bit.
Mhm.
It's like it just depends on your site. Like it's going to add some costs to what you're doing, but if you really need it, then that's why I design these to be basically as energy efficient as I can.
Mhm.
Um, a lot of people underestimate how much solar they need. Like
100%.
um,
Yeah, I can
because
see that.
a lot of companies are like, yeah, we include solar for just a few thousand, and it's like, yeah, you can get some lights running. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. Yeah. And when meanwhile your air conditioning, if you ever need it, is going to blow it out of the water, and you're
Yeah,
done.
exactly.
Basically at that point. So
Wait
yeah,
a
that's
minute, air
interesting.
conditioning in a tiny home?
Well,
Why?
yeah, they get warm in the
Wow.
summer and the hot. If you're in a forest, you can open the windows. I get it. Okay, I'm just, we
Canadian
just talked about
summers.
the bougie nature, you know.
Honestly, come on. You're trying to pare down.
I
You're
get it.
not
I
trying
get
to
it.
go into the
Just buy a fan for
anyway,
God's
it's
sakes.
interesting.
That's great.
Yeah.
So what's the future of your company?
Um,
Like, where are you going from here? What's the next steps for you? What's the growth look like for you? Like, where do you want to get into?
Yeah, the future, I would say for me, looks like we're partnering with like RV parks and partnering with people who want to do Airbnb rentals with tiny homes, and hopefully in the future doing our own resort as well. Those are kind of the
Mhm.
two things on my future pipeline. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Great.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah.
So, uh, when it comes to, these small places, small spaces, it's like the world is sort of shifting into economy mode right now. And I feel like this is a very ideal direction for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Mom, you're going to be living in one of those in my backyard, just so you know, at some point.
Absolutely.
But I love that idea for in-laws, right? Isn't that not cool? Like when you come to visit, you don't even have to stay in the house. You're like out back.
Yeah,
Where's Ma?
exactly.
She's out back. It's
She's out
great.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Just send my mail and my bills out back.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Why do we get so many Amazon packages? They can't mom back
They
there.
all go back there.
Yeah. So, okay, cool. No, this has been really cool. So, what we're going to do here is we're going to throw your name, information, all the rest of it
Uh,
down below. The contact information for your company, the website, and all that stuff. Best place to reach out would be through your website. I'm assuming there's links on your website to reach out.
Yeah, the best place is my website. It's just monx.design.
Cool. Yeah, we'll put that all below in the chat. I'm sure Andrea might have already done that. So that's awesome. We appreciate your time and getting the name out there, getting the word out about tiny homes. Something to look for as they start to become more and more popular in the future. Thank you so much for coming on the show, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.